Hey everybody, welcome to today's Tech Talk Tuesday for Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. With me today is founder of MarketEdge, Tom Ventresca. Tom, how are you?
I'm doing great, Rachel. How about you?
I'm doing great. Let's jump right in.
Okay, we put together a little presentation today explaining what technical analysis is and how MarketEdge provides what we call finished technical analysis that anybody can use. Now, you'll get a lot of definitions and opinions of technical analysis out there, but simply stated, it's the study of historical market data, including price and volume, using insights from market psychology, which is very important, behavioral economics, and quantitative analysis. Technical analysis aim to use past performance to predict future market behavior. The two most common forms of TA are chart patterns and technical statistics or indicators. So the key takeaway that you need to understand is a technical analysis attempts to predict future price movements, providing traders with the information needed to make a profit. Traders apply technical analysis tools to charts in order to identify entry and exit points for potential trades. An underlying assumption of technical analysis, which is very important, is that the market has processed all the available information and that it is reflected in the price chart of the stock. So I'll tell you what technical analysis isn't, which I'm sure a lot of you have heard before. Number one, it's not some form of voodoo. Number two, it's not a bunch of wiggly lines that have no meaning. Number three, it's a form of art, not science, used to predict stock prices. Number four, only used by Wall Street quacks. Believe me, I was involved with Wall Street for about 40 years. They all use it, they just don't admit it. And number five, cannot be trusted. Fact of life is it's the most trusted form of analysis that I've ever been exposed to. Okay, now the core of the MarketEdge website is what we call our second opinion report. And second opinion sums up the status of several technical indicators and chart formations into an intermediate term forecast, which we call the opinion, for over 4,000 stocks on a daily basis. Now, the beauty of the MarketEdge opinions is that they are computer generated based on conditions and indicators that historically have had significance in forecasting of stocks short to intermediate term direction. Again, think of it as being a similar exercise by your friendly weatherman who interprets the output from several computer models to create a weather forecast. It's the same deal. Let's take a look at the similarities. This is a weather map I pulled off the internet. It shows the United States back in October of 2019. Now, technical analysis is very similar to the techniques used by the weatherman to come up with their forecast. Now, if you look at the map, you can see up in the Pacific Northwest, it's purple. And if you look at the little code down in the bottom left-hand corner, purple means that based on the conditions that he's looking at, it's probably going to be a mixture of rain and snow coming up for the next few days. In the Midwest, in the middle, it's solid green. And based on his charts, solid green indicates rain. In the Southeast, it's dotted green. And dotted green indicates thunderstorms. So all the weatherman's doing is he's looking at a chart or a map, whatever you want to call it, and he sees high pressures. These are indicators, some low pressures, some wind currents, some fronts, and he comes up with a conclusion. And I don't know about your weatherman, mine's pretty good. He usually gets it right about 70 to 80% of the time. So let's see the similarities now. This is a MarketEdge chart of IBM. Okay. Now, pretend you're a weatherman, and we're looking at this chart, and you go, I have no idea what this means. Well, remember, MarketEdge gives you finished technical research. So, meaning anybody can use it. We're going to tell you what everything means. And the first thing you're going to see if you look at the top of the chart, the first arrow says MarketEdge opinion. And the opinion we have, which was generated out of the second opinion report, is long, meaning buy. And to the right of that, it says MarketEdge opinion date. The opinion was formed on May 23rd, 2023. Now, there's several other things that you need to look at. At the bottom of the chart, there's a couple technical indicators that we like. The first one being OBV, unbalanced volume, which is a measurement of accumulation and distribution in the stock. Accumulation means there's a lot more buying activity, demand, than there is selling. And you can see right around May 23rd, where the arrow is, that this turned up, which is a bullish sign. Underneath the OBV, you see what we call MACD, which is short for moving average convergence divergence. We have our own proprietary setup for that. And again, very simple. You can see that turned up right around May 23rd. If you go up right underneath the graph, you see a series of little circles, green ones and red ones. Again, you don't need to know what they are. It doesn't matter. We interpret it for you. But green are bullish technical events. Red are bearish technical events. So knowing just what we went over, you could look at this chart, not have any idea what technical analysis is all about. And I think you'd come up with the conclusion that right around May 23rd, things were pretty well set up from a technical angle that IBM ought to move up in price. And sure enough, you can see over the next 2 months, the stock went from about 120 up to about 145, which isn't a bad move. So if you understand what I just showed you, there's two things. Number one, if you think of this as the same way the weatherman looks at the weather chart, is the way a technician looks at a stock chart, and the way MarketEdge does is we do everything for you, put it on the chart. If this was a live slide and you clicked on any one of those green or red arrows, it would tell you which indicator out of the 50 or so we followed had turned bullish on that day or bearish its red. So, as I just said, MarketEdge reads the chart for you. Not only that, on the second opinion report, which we're going to take a look at in a minute, it actually looks at everything that we just went over and prints the comment for you on the second opinion report. So you can see stocks outperform the market, which is good. MACD, I just told you about it, is confirming the intermediate term trend is bullish. IBM's chart formation indicates a strong trend. Upside momentum by RSI is very strong. However, the stock's in a short-term overbought condition, so it'll probably have a little bit of a pullback here. Okay. Again, I talked about OBV over the last 50 trading sessions. There's been more volume on up days than on down days, indicating IBM's under accumulation, which is bullish. Okay. Stocks trading above the rising 50-day moving average, which validates us again another strong condition for IBM. Stocks also above its 200-day average, which is pointed up, indicating the intermediate term trend is bullish. So the computer took a look at the chart and came up with this conclusion. We looked at the chart, saw a lot of the stuff what the computer system was looking at, and sure enough, this time it worked out very well as IBM ran up about 10% over the next 6 weeks. Now, it doesn't always work that well, but our record, which we'll get into later on, shows that these opinions are very strong and typically are accurate better than 70% of the time, with the winners outperforming the losers by the 3-to-1 ratio. We'll see that toward the end of the presentation. All right, this is what we were talking about when I was going over the chart. This is every piece of information that you want to know or need to know about IBM. Now, a lot of these things, you have no idea what they are, and you're never going to understand them, and you don't want to understand them. If you're into it, everything that's on the second opinion report is explained in English in our glossary. Okay, if you click next to the indicator, there's the explanation. So let's pretend, if you notice, there's a question mark next to every indicator, so you can get a full English explanation on everything on the second opinion report. Okay, but let's say you're like me and you're lazy and you don't want to go learn a whole new game here. We, again, finished technical research. If the indicator is bullish, like right in the middle, the unbalanced volume, remember I showed you that on the chart, it'll say bullish, okay? If it's bearish, it'll say bearish, all right? So you don't really need to know exactly what's going on with the indicators. We tell you what it is. If you can't read, everything that's green is good, meaning bullish, and if it's bad, meaning bearish, it'll be in red. So to sum it up, if you're lazy and you don't want to learn anything, that's okay. If you can't read and you don't understand, you can't see if it says bullish or bearish, that's okay. Because if it's bullish, it's green. If it's bearish, it's red. Now, if you're colorblind and you can't tell what it means, all you got to do is down in the bottom right-hand corner, click on our leave a message, and one of our guys will give you a call and straighten everything out. So that's when we talk about finished technical research, it doesn't get any more finished than that. So remember I said that the opinions were pretty good, long, neutral, or avoid. Every day, since we know what the opinions are, we know the date that the opinion was formed, and we know the price action since the opinion was formed. We have what we call a performance dashboard. And the dashboard totals up and gives you a report card. So as of last night, we had, well, as of 7:31, that was last night, our opinions that are long are up in price, 84% accuracy. The ones that are void, meaning you want to short them or sell them, are down in price, 63% accuracy. And this is the cumulative totals of over 3,925 stocks. So what I told you also was the accuracy is about 70%, and the winners outproduce the losers by about 3 to 1. And that's a statistics that's been around ever since we've started MarketEdge, which is about 25, 30 years ago. And hopefully it will go on like that. I don't see why it won't. Okay, so that wraps up today's session. I hope it helped you in a couple ways. Number one, give you a very simple, easy explanation of what technical analysis is, and better than that, on how MarketEdge gives you finished technical analysis. As I say, over 4,000 stocks on a daily basis. If you had, we're going to try to do this before the wonderful computer showed up, you need about 100 guys working for you. So we think it's a wonderful offering, and we hope that you're with us for a long time and have a very good success with it. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Tom. We'll see everybody next week.